What's up, y'all? World's Okayest guitar player here. In today's video, I want to talk to you about the Eric Clapton riff that every guitarist should know. The riff is the intro to All Your Love, which was on the Blues Breakers Beano album in 1966, and it is a monster of a guitar part, but the beauty of it is it's not as difficult to play as one might think. So let's listen to the thing all the way through, and then we'll break it down from a fundamental standpoint. That lick right there is like A minor pentatonic phrasing mastery to the T. And like I said, the beauty of it is it's got a couple little tricky parts in there, but I'm going to show you a super simple way to play it all the way up to the way I hear it on the album. So let's dive in to the most simple way to play it. Before we talk about the lick, we need to know what chords are being played over it. So we're in the key of A minor, so what we're playing is A minor, for like 4 bars, and then we play D minor, like 2 bars, then we go back to A minor, then we go to E minor, D minor, back to A minor. And essentially what Eric Clapton is doing in that intro is he's highlighting the chord tones of each chord as they pass by. And I'm going to play the most simple version of it that I know whenever I learned how to play this the first time around. And you'll hear the chord tones as they come by. So the way to play it is we're in A minor pentatonic in the fifth fret. And the riff is only played on, it's only played on 2 strings. We're in the 5th and 7th fret of the D and 5th and 7th fret of the G. The hardest part about this riff is the bend at the very beginning. We start in the 7th fret of the G string and we bend, release, and pull off. And in my opinion, that's the hardest part of the riff. That right there. So if you struggle with that a little bit, just practice and practice, slow it down. And do that until you're comfortable with it. But the riff in its entirety over the A minor is pretty simple, right? It's not a whole lot of notes, and it sounds so good, man. So good. And whenever I realized that that's all he was playing, it was like, because it sounded super technical to me. It's essentially a bend, release, pull off to the 5th fret on the G. And then we're going to hit the 7th fret of the D string, back to the 5th fret of the G, back to the 7th fret of the D string. And that right there is an A note. And that's what he plays over the A minor. So when the D minor rolls around, he plays the same exact thing, but he lands on a D note, which is on the 7th fret of the G string. Then the A minor rolls back around. Then when that E minor comes up, I'm going to show you the way that I play it, but I believe he bends up to that E note and holds it, but for me it's more comfortable to play it this way. that right there is an E note. Then he walks down to the D because the E minor walks down to the D minor. And then whenever we go back to the A minor, a really, really big part of this song is the vibrato. And to me, one of the coolest things about the guitar is everyone's vibrato is different. So we get to put our spin on it. Even if we're playing the exact same note as the album, we're still putting our spin on it because our vibrato is different. It's like a fingerprint. So Eric Clapton has like this really wide, quick, slow, in-between vibrato kind of thing that sounds really, really good. But doesn't matter. Play the vibrato the way that you play it. And usually he adds emphasis with the vibrato on his target note. So whenever he's over the A, his vibrato is usually on that A note. Same with the D, same with the E. So now, if you want to up it a little bit as far as the difficulty goes, we can add that really awesome boom, 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 boom. And that honestly, it still throws me for a loop sometimes, as you can see. That is nothing more than fretting the high E and the high B in the 5th fret, which is part of the A minor, and popping those real quick with your pick or your fingers, however you play, if you finger pick or if you use the pick or if you hybrid pick, and sliding it up real fast, like shoot. So, and it sounds, it kind of sounds funny by itself, but in the mix of the song, it sounds really cool, and you'll notice, at least for me, this was probably one of the more interesting things to add to the riff. Especially going back and forth from Ben's releases and stuff like that, to remember to do that quick little whop, or whatever you want to call that thing, the quick slide up. But in between the licks, it goes like this. So you'll see, basically, in between every riff, or lick, whatever you want to call it, he does that little, that thingamadoo, that slide up. And it sounds awesome, especially in the mix. Now, moving on to the master level of this riff, I guess you would say, is that kind of walking bass line almost, but it's played on guitar. And if you listen to the record, to me it sounds like the intro lick is overdubbed on top of it, because that is played by Eric Clapton, but it's kind of lower in volume, but it is possible to play it all at once. So the cool thing is we don't have to worry about really playing it over the E minor, even though on the record it is. But if you can do that while playing the E minor lick, give me a call and tell me how you do it, because that seemed impossible to me. However, playing it over the A minor and D minor is possible for my okay guitar playing skills. And it's again a really kind of simple, it's just a pentatonic lick, and it's pretty simple. So over the A, it's going to be a hammer on from the 5th to 7th string. And on the D string, it's in the 5th and 7th fret as well, but it's got this more like it's got kind of like a triplet on the 5th, in the 5th fret to 7th fret on the D. And then the same thing with the D minor, except for we're up a string, so we start on the D string in the 5th and 7th fret and end on the G. So putting all that together, You heard some mistakes in there, and that's all right. They don't call me the world's okayest guitar player for nothing, but I wanted to show you this because, in my opinion, I don't see too many people talk about this song and Eric Clapton. And good gracious, if that lick, in my opinion, isn't one of his coolest. He had a ton of cool licks, but every time I hear this song, it grabs my attention. Take your time, slow it down, have some fun with it. If there's another lick you would like broken down, let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, run up and bear hug that like button for me. And remember, practice doesn't necessarily make you perfect, but it can make you okay. We'll see you on the next one.